The U.S. Mexico border has become a focal point of national security concerns, prompting a significant military mobilization under the Trump administration. Thousands of troops have been deployed, transforming the border region into a scene reminiscent of a war zone. This includes a Stryker Brigade combat team with approximately 4,400 soldiers, equipped with Stryker armored vehicles, a formidable display of military might. Adding to the aerial presence, a General Support Aviation Battalion, comprising around 650 personnel, has also been deployed. This battalion brings with it UH-60 Black Hawk and CH-47 Chinook helicopters, bolstering surveillance and transportation capabilities along the border. The deployment doesn't stop there, with elite units such as the 101st Airborne and the 10th Mountain Division also reportedly playing a role in this operation. The U.S. military is also engaging in unprecedented intelligence-gathering activities in the region. Spy flights over Mexican territory, a move rarely taken in the past, have become more frequent. Adding to the technological prowess, Reaper drones, known for their surveillance and strike capabilities, have been spotted in the skies, significantly escalating the potential for U.S. military intervention. Furthermore, the U.S. has taken a more active role in training the Mexican military, with the renowned 7th Special Forces Group providing guidance and expertise. This move signals a deepening involvement in Mexico's own fight against organized crime, blurring the lines of engagement. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the international community, the Trump administration has officially designated Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. This move has far-reaching implications, potentially reshaping the U.S.'s approach to combating drug trafficking and impacting its relationship with Mexico. The designation allows the U.S. government to impose a wider range of sanctions, both economic and legal, against the cartels and those who support them. It empowers law enforcement agencies to pursue cartel members and their associates with greater force, using tools typically reserved for combating terrorism. The move has been met with mixed reactions. Proponents argue that it provides the U.S. with much-needed leverage to dismantle these criminal organizations that have wreaked havoc on both sides of the border. They point to the cartels' brutality, their vast networks involved in drug trafficking, human smuggling, and violence, as justification for treating them as a national security threat. The recent military buildup and the designation of cartels as terrorist organizations have fueled speculation about the potential for direct U.S. military intervention in Mexico. While the Trump administration has not explicitly stated its intentions, the rhetoric and actions taken suggest a willingness to consider all options. The deployment of significant military assets to the border, the increased surveillance activities within Mexican territory, and the training of Mexican forces are all seen as preparations for a possible escalation. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth's statement that all options are on the table has further fueled these concerns. However, such a move would be highly controversial and fraught with risk. It could potentially violate Mexican sovereignty, sparking a diplomatic crisis between the two countries. The Mexican government has already expressed its strong opposition to any unilateral U.S. military action on its soil. The military buildup and the threat of intervention in Mexico are unfolding against a backdrop of simmering trade tensions between the U.S. and its southern neighbor. President Trump has long criticized Mexico's trade practices, accusing it of unfair competition and contributing to the U.S. trade deficit. He's imposed tariffs on Mexican goods and threatened further economic action if Mexico does not take steps to address his concerns. Trump has specifically linked trade with issues of immigration and drug trafficking, arguing that Mexico is not doing enough to stop the flow of migrants and drugs into the U.S. He has threatened to use tariffs as leverage to force Mexico's hand on these issues, further complicating the already strained relationship. The USMCA, the trade agreement between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada, is also up for renewal, adding another layer of complexity to the situation. Trump's aggressive stance on trade has created uncertainty and anxiety among businesses and investors on both sides of the border.